Welcome to ChinnyVision, this time some knockoff Commodore Plus for action. The Commodore Plus 4, the machine that many branches of Commodore didn't want, and neither did the public. It cost more than a standard Commodore 64 on launch, but it had a far inferior specification. A classic case of the marketing department deciding they want to make something, but actually there being no need for the machine. But the Plus 4 is essentially a Commodore 16 with 64K and 4 very poor built-in applications. So if you got one, you'd basically be running Commodore 16 games or one of the very, very few exclusive Plus 4 titles. The machines didn't sell very well in the UK, and a lot got dumped in Eastern Europe cheaply, creating a scene over there. And what do you do if you have one of these machines and you've got no games? Well, you write your own. And what's more, if you've got a machine with 64K of RAM and a 6502 processor, why not port some games from your sister machine, the Commodore 64, over to the Plus 4? Today we're going to look at 5 such games, unofficial, and I repeat that, unofficial homebrew conversions from back in the day. We're a better place to start than Dizzy. And because it's done by a demo coding team or coders like that. I mean, of course they have intros on them. And this is Dizzy, Prince of the Yolkfolk. Not quite sure when this one was ported, but there are other Dizzy games ported as well, but this was the final one, so I thought we'd take a look at it. And the thing to remember is the Commodore Plus 4 has no sprites, although it has more colours than the C64, so you can port stuff over, but you're going to have to do your own sprite routines. And this is immediately apparent when Dizzy is walking around. The movement isn't too good. It's more akin to a sped up Spectrum version. You know the deal with Dizzy, Prince and the Yolkfolk. You just have to set fire to the door in this room where they've locked you in, and then put it all out with a jug of water. Got to get close enough to the fire. I'm not close enough. It's quite hard, because not only am I using the Commodore Plus 4 joystick, which is the worst joystick in the world, very spongy, but this animation isn't particularly good. There we go. Now onto a full screen. You can see there, Dizzy doesn't have an awful lot of frames of animation there. They've got him moving, and this is basically identical to the Commodore 64 version, except there's also appears to be colour clash going on as well. And this is when the sprite handling gets a bit awkward, when you've got to do precision moves combined with the Commodore joystick. I don't know why there is that, again, just saw there, the colour clash going on. The animation is more akin to the first Dizzy game on the Spectrum and Amstrad. Jump over there. Oh! Got that wrong. Don't know why I'm going, isn't there a man on the other side who kicks you back asking for stuff? It seems to me that, yeah, they've got the Commodore 64 version across. It works. Perhaps a little bit more work to stop the sprite flickering and just get the handling of Dizzy a little bit better. But again, can I get over here? Can I get over here? This isn't going to end well, is it? Oh, no. Yeah, again, it's little tweaks. You're going to need little tweaks here, really, to get this game working smoothly. Not a bad a tempo. Barbarian. And a game that, again, wasn't ported to the Plus 4. This is a port by Muffbusters. One man against Plus 4. And the title screen doesn't look particularly like Wolf from Gladiators, does it? But here we go. Usual attract mode. And the background looks the same, apart from one or two minor differences. Teenage boys there. So, I've got the decapitation move going there. Handles well. It feels pretty much like the Amstrad version in terms of the animation. Again, they've just lost the sprites, but, you know, you've not lost much. There's no lag. Someone's done a really nice job here. Oh, I've done it again. And the body's taken away, but there's no little ogre. Probably having to just try and save memory or something like that. No, this seems pretty good. I don't know. I haven't got far enough to see is any other background screens or not. So I can't tell you about that. But yeah, if you had a +4 and you got a hold of this version of Barbarian, you wouldn't feel too cheated. Games you wouldn't expect to see ported to the +4. Games that never ran particularly well on the C64 to begin with. The Freescape games, namely Driller. Yes, we've all seen Driller on the C64, and as Amstrad owners, we laughed because it ran so badly. Freescape, of course, originating on the Amstrad CPC and Z80 processor. They never seem to get it quite working that well on the 6502, so this is going to be interesting. Yeah, it's not fast. I'm trying to work out what the controls are. Actually, I seem to be on the keyboard, not the joystick. Graphically, it's nice and colourful, but you're porting a game from the C64 that didn't work particularly well on the system anyway. From one point of view, of course, Driller doesn't use any of the C64 hardware because there's no sprites or scrolling or anything like that. So on that respect, porting the game is much easier and it makes it a much more faithful port. On the other hand, the game wasn't much to begin with on the 64. It was always too slow, and that seems to be the case here. An interesting technical exercise, and perhaps the reason they picked it was precisely because it was going to be a case of just porting the 6502 code. But it's not terribly good on the C64, and it's not terribly good on the +4 either. You know what I'm going to say. Go and play the Amstrad version. After Driller, you'd think I wouldn't play another 3D game on the system, but 3D Pool has been ported to the +4, and it's quite a famous port as well, renowned for being quite good, so let's give this a go. Copyright 1989 Aardvark software converted from the C64 by Pygmy. I'm going to be playing No Good Nick. How does on my Amstrad? I didn't play it that much. You've got to place the keyboard. It's going to work out the controls here. It's always the thing. You don't have any instructions, of course, when people have ported games like this. You just load them up and try and play them. Actually, that's a lie. Sometimes the loaders have instructions in them, don't they? So I've got to work out the controls. So have I placed the ball down properly? There we go. Right, so we've got to select position behind the ball, which direction I want to hit the ball, and then select power. And break the balls. Hopefully pot some of them at the same time as well. So it's going to be full power. Oh, slightly fiddly controls. There we go. Right. Oh, I've got some in. And while the ball's moving, while you've got control of the ball, you can scroll around and just see what's going on in 3D. Frame rate's not particularly great, but it doesn't seem to matter in the same way it does in Driller. It's enough. Actually, this frame rate is actually a bit better than Driller. It's not hugely much, but it's because it's a small amount of things on the screen and you're thinking at the same time as well. Right, okay, I'm going to get that ball in. I'm going for the... It's only 4 colours on the screen. There's a lot of stippling going on. I am the brown ball as opposed to the red ball. So I got that in. Let's go up and have a look. And it's wonderful being able to see the balls from all the angles. Must do this game properly across all the systems one of these weeks. Oh, didn't go in. Right, No Good Nick, aka the +4, is giving it a go now. And when he's playing, you can't scroll around, unfortunately. You can't move the camera position, which is a little bit annoying. It means the balls can go off the edge of the screen sometimes. So No Good Nick has got to get another ball in. Is he going to get that one in? Oh, he has got it in. Once you start to get into it, you lose sight of the slightly poor graphics and just start playing pool. And there is quite a lot of waiting around as well. If there's a complex move going on for the computer, it will just sit there going, for quite a while. Move the game on. Right, I think I'm winning this. Unless I really mess up. Got that last ball in. Let's see if I can be smart and get this one in. Right, have I got this right? Don't want too much power. Got to get it into that edge pocket. Yes! Right, all I've got to do now is hit the black in. The computer's still got 2 red balls on the table. Should be easy. All I've got to do is just knock the black in. Right, let's have a look at it. Oh, it's going to be a bit of an angle. What can I do here? Not too much power. Bounce it back. Move slightly. Whoa! Oh dear. Right, that means the computer gets a go now. Can the computer... Oh, he's going to get it. I'm going to lose now, aren't I? I'm going to lose. A lot of thinking. That 1 megahertz processor screaming in agony. Oh! Right, okay. My chance now. Can I win this? Can I win this? Right, I can get it into that pocket over there. Just angle it right. The pockets are quite big. Makes it a little bit easier than real life or other pool games. The physics are rather simplified. And oh! No! Oh yeah, because the computer's not going to miss that. Bum. Right, well, he's going to get that in. No, he's not. Ooh. Ooh. Right, okay. My go. My go. Chinny's go. Chinny's going to do this. Come on. He's going to chip it in. Oh, no. Oh. He's going to do it, isn't he? The computer's going to do it. There he goes. Oh, yeah. We're both as useless as each other. Is that when me and my mate used to play pool against each other when we were teenagers? Basically, it's miss. Right, okay, look, I can't miss this. I can't miss this. I can't. Come on. Come on. I'll give up all my 8-bit computers if I miss this. Yes! Who's the daddy? Woo! Well done, player 1. That's me. Enjoyed that. That was really good. Another game that's had a port to the system. Head Over Heels. Hello, Guy. This is my newest converted game. I think it's quite good. There are no sounds. Sorry. I had to clear the music memory for the place of the graphics memory. The game can only be converted in this way. What language is that? Is that Polish? I don't know. Menu screen looks the same as normal. Let's go in. There's going to be no music on this screen. And yes, this looks like a straight port of the C64 version. No slowdown, no problems. I don't think the original game used any sprites on the 64. So again, this makes an ideal candidate to port to the Plus 4. You've got 64K of RAM, you've got the same processor. You've got slightly better graphics capability, so you can replicate the C64's graphics no problem at all. You've got a horrible joystick that makes it just impossible to do some things. I'm just using the Plus 4 joystick because I couldn't find my adapter for normal joysticks, and it's horrible. But it's head over heels, and it's all here. Yes, it's completely and totally mute, and the coders had to do that in order to fit all the graphics in. I don't know what the memory layout differences are on the Plus 4 versus the C64, but obviously there are issues in order to get this running. Aside from the complete and total silence, you would find this a perfectly acceptable port of a classic 8-bit game. And while we're playing here, remember you can check out ChinnyVision on Twitter at ChinnyVision for all the updates on the channel. We have a Discord feed as well, link below. And if you want to help support the channel and buy me a coffee, also check out the link for Patreon down below. Very grateful for the people who support the channel and keep this place ad-free. So that's 5 games that have been unofficially ported to the Commodore Plus 4. Dizzy Prince of the Yolkfolk, yeah, it's a good game to begin with. I think there's a few animation and graphics issues in there. And you know what? Again, if you've got no choice, you're going to play it, but there's no reason to play this over the other versions. Barbarian's very interesting. It's a decent port. I don't know if any of the later screens are missing. Yes, there's the obvious thing going on in the background, a little bit puerile. But as I said earlier, just teenage coders, what do you do? But otherwise, it's a very decent port of an absolute classic C64 game. Driller, a game that I was surprised to find on the Plus 4 as an unofficial port, and I can't work out why they did it. Did they do it as a technical exercise, perhaps because it was easy to port, because it's pure 6502? I don't know, but I can't see anyone wanting to play this. It is just too slow. 3D Pool, wonderful fun. I really enjoyed playing this game. I must play all the original 8 and 16-bit versions of this. I really enjoyed it. It was good fun. And if you got Plus 4, you would have been dead chuffed to have this game ported to your system so competently. For Head Over Heels, pretty much what I said for the previous game, 3D Pool. It's extremely well ported. I was surprised to find it on the system. It's very playable. It's Head Over Heels. It's one of the best 8-bit games of all time. The only gripe is that you're going to be missing the sound, and for heaven's sake, plug in a decent joystick, because the Plus 4 keyboard is useless, as you'll probably know, and the Plus 4 joysticks are appalling. So you're going to want some Competition Pro or Zipstick or whatever action via a Plus 4 to Atari joystick adapter. What's impressive about all these ports is how competently and well they're ported, and how well the Plus 4 copes with these C64 ports. If you got a Plus 4, you wouldn't be so hard done by, because at least you've got some competently ported games to your system.